President Lai Ching-Te said that Taiwan must look to fellow democracies, not China, for trade and economic cooperation, as his government mapped out how the island plans to work with the United States in areas like AI and critical minerals. According to reports, senior Taiwanese and US officials last week have discussed cooperation in artificial intelligence, tech and drones at the high-level forum launched during the first Trump administration, with the US State Department praising Taipei as a vital partner. Meanwhile, Taiwanese President Lai Ching-Te has responded. Let's listen in.
台湾正走在正确的经济路线上，大步走向世界。台湾有实力，也有信心，和民主伙伴一起引领下一个世代的繁荣。未来执政团队将继续以深化台美经贸与建立科技多元布局为两大目标，让台湾产业能够进一步立足台湾，布局全球，行销全世界。
We are now being joined by Colonel Sanjit Sorohi, who is an international relations and defence expert, joining us from New Delhi. Thank you so much for joining us here today on NewsX World. What strategic advantages and risks come with Taiwan prioritising economic ties with democracies like the US, Japan and Europe, rather than deepening trade with neighbouring China?
Well, Ellie, good afternoon. Thank you very much for having me on your news channel and discussing this Taiwan president, what he has said. Now, if we see what he has said is that we must have trade relations with the democracies that include the United States, European countries, Japan, and other allied nations. Now, as far as the advantage is concerned, the advantage is that these countries, they have a lot of say as far as Taiwan is concerned. And as far as the United States is concerned, it gives the guarantee, the defense guarantee or security guarantee to Taiwan. So Taiwan has to have close relations with the United States. And Taiwan is also aware that in case he goes closer to the United States and other European countries, then they are going to antagonize China. Whereas their opposition leader is already in China and he is attending some think tank meeting with Communist Party of China. And there, the opposition party deputy chairman from the KMT is seeking close cooperation with China. So the ruling party is going for trade partners and other partnership with democracies, and whereas the opposition party, that is the KMT, is getting closer to China. So I think the advantage is that the Taiwan will get a lot of aid, lot of defense equipment and security and other equipments. Whereas the risk is that as long as they get closer to Americans or to Europeans, the China is going to take it very seriously, and then again, China will threaten them with a lot of exercises which China have been doing for the last 3-4 years. Ellie.
Will this trade strategy strengthen Taiwan's security or provoke stronger pressure from Beijing?
Well, if we look at it, what has been happening for the last few years, since this democratic progressive party has come into power, which is pro-Europeans and pro-Americans, China has been putting a lot of pressure, and China has been saying that this Taiwan is part of China only, and they have got full right to invade it whenever they decide. So the question is only of when they will invade Taiwan. Otherwise, China is very clear that they are going to take Taiwan one day, and they will make sure that Taiwan becomes part of China only. Delhi.
Does reducing trade with China risk hurting Taiwanese businesses more than helping security, do you think?
Look, as far as Taiwan is concerned, they have the security concern because of China's aggressive policy and the way they are conducting exercise after every 3-4 months. And they have been trying to pressurize Taiwan, and they have a strained relation with Japan on Taiwan only. So I think that Taiwan is very clear about it, and they know that if they get closer to United States or Europe, they are going to face more risk from China. But I think they are prepared to do that. And the way the Taiwan army is preparing itself, they are ready to take on China whenever they decide to invade Taiwan.
And lightly touched on it there, but will this realistically reduce their dependence on China without hurting its economy?
Sorry, I didn't get your question, please.
Can Taiwan realistically reduce its dependence on China without hurting its economy?
Well, Taiwan is already independent and Taiwan is going to follow the independent policy. They have the strategic autonomy and they are the people, because the Taiwan people also, they don't want to get involved with the China. They don't want to merge with China. They want to be independent from China. So they will try to be independent as long as they can, till China they invade Taiwan, and we have to see how the Americans or the other allied partners are going to help Taiwan in fighting against the Chinese.
And do you think now that Taiwan's trade policy is becoming more about values and politics than economics?
Look, as far as Taiwan is concerned, they have a trade and economic cooperation with Americans, and their officials are already in. Last week, they were in the United States and discussing something very, very important regarding artificial intelligence and critical minerals. And they have signed an economic security, and they have also signed on Pax Silica Declaration, which is a US-led initiative aimed at securing artificial intelligence and semiconductor supply chain. So Taiwan is following the independent autonomous policy, and let us see how long Taiwan will be able to follow that. Ali.
Thank you so much for joining us here today on